Okay, let's start. We'll start with very basic problem statements, which is nothing but finding the sum of an array. Once we're able to understand that, we will try to discuss finding the min, the max value in an array. I hope I'm clear with that.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start. Consider an array and it has an elements. Let's call it as 5, 4, 0, 7, and 1. And what I need to do, I need to find the sum of an array. So can you tell me what is an output for that? If this is an input,
17.
70.
17 is the sum of the array. Sorry,
Got it.
9, 10.
Yes, 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 1, 10.
10
Sanat,
and
already
10.
the first session has been done and today is the second class. Okay. So yes, it's 70. Now, what should I do in order to get the result? Can anybody help me with that?
So I'm adding the
Hmm.
particular digit in array, so that I'm just adding the indexing by element, so that 5 plus 4 plus 0 plus 7 plus 1 plus, so that this is the approach for sum of the array.
Correct. So can I?
Basically, in for loop,
Mhm.
you iterate the
Yeah,
array and
you can
add
use.
the each element of the array.
Got it. That means I have to access each and every element of an array.
You have to
So
go through the each and iterate each and every element of the array.
correct, correct. So the basic intuition says that if I wanted to add the first element, I have to write sum equal to sum plus array of 0.
Right.
If I will do that, if I will do that, can I say that sum will be holding 5 now after this piece of code?
Yes.
Correct. If I will write sum equal to sum plus
Array
array of 1, what sum is going to hold?
of 5 plus 4 is 9.
9.
Sum is hold
Correct.
9.
9.
Yes.
Correct. So if I wanted to add the second index, can I say that I have to write sum equal to sum plus array of 2?
It is also hold the 9.
Correct. So can I say that this piece of code is repeated multiple times? Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So if some piece of code is repeated multiple times, it's better to put it into an loop.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. So if some piece of code is repeated multiple times, it's better to put it in a loop.
Good.
Okay. So it's a very simple program. Instead of writing into the Eclipse, shall we write down the code here itself?
Yes, we can write. No.
Correct. So what will be the initial index?
Array start
Zero.
with 0. So
Zero.
0. And what will be the last index?
4.
last index basically find the array of length.
Length minus 1.
Learn.
Yeah, length minus 1.
Length minus 1. Correct. So can I say that I should go less than ar.length? It will automatically be length minus 1.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
I think everyone is aware of the basic loop. So I'm just trying to get how much you know and how much value I can add it to that. Cool. Now, if this is the case, I have to simply write sum equal to sum plus array of 0, and here I can write int sum equal to 0. So instead of 0, it should replace with what? This thing should be replaced with what?
I.
I, right?
yeah,
Because I
right.
is initially 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 2, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
on. And I will be keeping on adding elements to it. At the end, I can print it or return it. Depends on the program. Okay. So I think it was a very simple program and everyone is able to answer that. Let's try to move to the next problem statement and see how many of you can come up with a logic for that. It will be pretty simple, pretty straight problem statement, but trust me, it will help you learn something. Cool. Now let's take an array. In this array, what I wanted to do, I wanted to declare few elements. I hope it's clear. In this array, I wanted to declare few elements. Let me write down few random values. Let's call it a 7, 100, 5, 3. So, and let's take one more value. Let's call it a 6. So in this array, can you tell me the maximum and the minimum value?
Maximum 100 and minimum 3.
Correct.
Basically, probably you can put first element as a0 and compare with respect to the other element in the loop, and then assign the maximum element.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So guys, one of the ways to assign the first value to the max, what is the next way where we can initialize this maximum value? One way is, I get it, that array of 0. Is there any other?
Yeah, we can assume first element as the minimum initially and keep comparing it with the next I plus 1 element.
Correct. I can do that. What is the next way to initialize this max?
Index
Can
of 0.
Can I initialize it with 0?
Yes.
Yes, it can be initialized with 0.
Yes, sir. I think before starting the loop, we can initialize with the 0, I think.
Correct. So before writing the loop, I have initialized max with 0. Clear?
Right.
And that's the basic intuition we get. So now let's run the loop. So can you tell me the starting and the ending value of the loop?
Start 0.
Starting is 7, ending is 6, right? You want the first and last element of the array.
No. At the end, I'll iterate into the array, right? So I'll start with 0 and I'll go till 6.
Array of length of -1.
Correct.
I less than n.
Yes, right. And n is nothing but ar.length.
Yeah.
Right. So if this is the scenario, now in order to find the max, what logic I should write?
We can compare the all element with AR max equal to AR of I. So means sorry, no, not. Suppose I'm
No, I don't. Just let me know the code. I don't want explanation. I just need code.
If I of 0 is greater than I of 1.
Sir, the code will be if
I of 0 is equal to I plus plus. I plus 1.
Okay, you will compare what? Array of? Just let me know the code.
Yeah,
Array of 5.
If max greater than array of I, then
I plus
no,
1.
just
greater than max.
I plus 1.
I plus 1.
Okay, do you? Okay, got it. So there are multiple ways to solve this. Let's go with this. So guys, what you're doing, you're comparing the adjacent digit, and what you will do it over here inside the if condition.
They're comparing first element with the second element.
And what you will do in the if condition?
If I is
if this is true, then what you will do?
Max is equal to I.
Max equal to I or array of I?
Array of I, yeah.
Okay. Just tell me, what are the problems with this piece of code? You don't need compiler.
It will get array not board exception.
Exactly. It will give you an exception. Why? Can you tell me what is the value of array.length?
5.
5. So I will go for 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can I say that for I equal to 4, it will go inside the loop?
No.
Array?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
It's a very basic thing, right? It will go inside the
Yes,
loop.
sir.
That's it. When inside
Yes.
the loop, you're trying to compare array of 5. Array of 5 is 4 and array of I plus 1 is 5.
Right.
Does fifth index exist?
Index out of no.
No,
Index out of bound
it
exception.
will give an error.
Correct. So this is going to give index out of bound. Right. You're right so far. What I wanted to do, so how to fix this? This is not the right way.
Why can't I start from 1? Because anyway, max I initialized with the A of 0, correct? Array of 0, or in this case 0. Okay.
Okay. I have started with
Or else max less than array of I, then max equal to.
Instead of using I plus 1, we can compare it with max. So every time it will compare it with the max, and if
We can put length minus 1. I
Yes,
is less than length minus 1.
So again, that is a fault. I'll suggest that instead of that comparing it with max, compare it with, sorry, instead of doing this, compare it with the max. I'll tell you what's the problem with this condition. If you do so, then what should I do? If array of I is greater than max, then what?
Max equal to array of I.
Max equals to array of I.
array of I.
Now guys, just try to understand what is the problem with this approach. Every time we are comparing the adjacent element.
Yeah. No, it's a comparing
in this, Arey Baba, just leave this condition. I'm talking about in this approach, in the second approach, in this approach, what you're doing, you're comparing the adjacent element, right? You're comparing 7 with 100.
Yes, sir.
Then you're comparing 100 with 5.
Yes.
Then you'll compare 5 with 3. And let's say I'm adding one more element, 1, and the array ends over here. Instead of 1, what I'll do, I'll end it with 4 so that my max is not changed and min is also not changed. So when it compare with 6 and 4, can I say that condition is true? In this approach, everyone agreeing with me? When this comparison had made, you are saying max equal to array of I, which is nothing but 6. Is it true?
No.
No, right? So comparing with the adjacent element is not going to work. Everyone get it?
Sir, could you please explain one more time?
Okay, Nimish, what I'm saying, what you're doing, you're trying to compare the adjacent element. Is it clear?
Yes.
In the first way, you compared 7 and 11, 100. Then you will compare 100 and 5.
Yeah.
Then we'll compare 5 and 3.
Yes.
The last comparison which you will make will be comparing 6 and 4.
Yes.
Is 6 greater than 4?
Yes.
Your if condition is true, it will update your max variable to 6.
Yes.
Correct. And then you will come out of the loop because there are no further comparison possible. And you will also go till length minus 1. That's a separate thing. But do you get it? After that, you will come out of the loop.
But when you compare 7 and 100, there itself you will get the
Baba, when you compare 7 and 100, you'll compare 105. But what I'm saying is, this is the last updation possible. Now, variable can hold only one value.
But when you compare 7 and 100, 100 will be there. When you compare 105, still 100 is there. So when you compare again 5 and 3, 100 would still keep
how?
7 and 100, you get 100. Again 105, you get.
Just stop. Let's trace. You compared 7 and 100. Is condition true or false?
False. You get
false.
False. So max is storing 0 right now. Correct?
Right.
Sir, if this is false, then we have to store the other element as 100. Sir. If it's false, we should not just store 100, 0, sir. We should store the I plus 1 element as the.
Pradeep, I'm tracing.
So basically, we have to reinitialize the max based on the condition we check. So we go and check.
Guys, stop. What I'm saying is this piece of code is correct. I'm trying to understand the problem in this piece of code. Just don't try to add further codes into that. You're making the simple example very, very complex just by adding piece of code in your mind. I asked you to trace this code and come up with a problem with that. I hope it's clear.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm
Basically,
saying,
we are iterating that many number of times the number of elements.
that's true. If I compared 7 with 100, will max will be modified or not? Will this if condition is true or false?
False.
False. Max won't be modified. Everyone agreeing with me?
Yeah, it won't get modified.
Then I have compared the next element, 105. Will max will be modified?
Yes.
Yes.
So can I say that max is storing 100 now?
That's correct.
Then you will compare 5 and 3. Is condition true?
Oh.
You will again update your max variable?
Yes.
True.
So if you do so, can I say that 100 is lost, now it's storing 5?
No, by the way, why we are comparing if it is 100 is greater than 5, max we assign 100.
Jyoti, you cannot skip the code, right? Once you're writing in the follow-up, same piece of code will execute multiple times.
But can I tell you that? Can I tell you that here, right? We say 100 is greater than 5. We reinitialize the max to 100. So we are always comparing max with each element, right? Only
Jyoti, that I am doing in this piece of code. Are you able to get that point? There are 2 sections of code, right? We are doing in this way. This is correct. I'm trying to explain what is in fault with this piece of code.
Okay, you're right. That is correct. That's correct. Okay. Elimination process, you are explaining why that logic
is not going to work. Correct.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry, a swap is needed. Okay. Got it. So guys, what I'm saying is, can you see that you're coming up with a multiple thought process? Pradeep, are you in the session?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. So Pradeep, even if I will write else block, else max equal to what you're saying, what you're suggesting, else max equal to?
Array of 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, array of 5.
Array of 5. Okay. If you are going with that, so can I say that doesn't matter what max is storing? Just try to understand. Doesn't matter what max is storing. I will agree to you so far. Let's assume that max is storing 100. Okay. If you want, let's trace this code from the scratch. Guys, is it clear? Just try to focus on this particular part. I'll write down neat and clean code in the Eclipse for you. But as of now, let's just try to trace this particular part. Okay. Don't assume that this piece of code even exists. Now, when you compare 7 with 100, what you will store into the max?
Array of 5.
Max store array of 5 means store 100.
Sir, 0.
You will store, yeah, initially it's 0, but you will store array of 5. Array of 5 is 7. Can I say that you will store 7?
Yeah.
And then you will compare 100 and 5. Again, you will store array of 5.
Yeah.
Which is 100. Then you will compare 5 and 3. Again, you will store array of 5.
5
which
now.
is 5. So are you getting the point? This if condition is not making any sense because every time you're storing array of 5. Is it clear? Whether if condition is true or whether it's false, every time you're storing array of 5 to the max. And that's a very wrong piece of code.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So everyone got it? What's the problem with the multiple things? And let me go to the Eclipse and write the cleaner code. So guys, can you code along with me so that you will have the better clarity? Shalza, your code seems to correct to me. Just can you please look into the initialization? It's taking longer time than expected. Okay. So guys, can you please write on the code by yourself? Okay. Yes, it works, but it will increase the complexity. But still, it's going to fail based on initialization, Shelja. So guys, one more solution to this particular problem statement. Let's say I'll take the same input till the time Eclipse is loading. 700 5364. 700 5364. If I will sort this array, how does it will look like?
3, 4, 5, 6, 700.
3, 4, 5, 6, 700. Correct? Can you tell
Yes.
me where does the minimum value stored?
Array of 0.
Array of 0. And where does the maximum value is being stored?
Array of length minus 1.
Everyone agreeing with me? This is true?
Yes, true.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll create a new workspace. What is the batch code assigned to you?
23 DSA.
Okay. It's finally loading. So guys, till the point, can you please make your note like why this is not going to work, why this particular piece of code is working? Just write on comments in your terms. It would be very, very helpful. Because once you do that, you realize what not to do in order to make it work. And this is the first time Eclipse is taking so much time to load. I don't know why. Oh, finally. Guys, are you able to view the Eclipse? Everyone, please confirm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll go with an simple Maven project. Create a simple project. Next. Anyone can help me with the group ID and the artifact ID?
Group ID just like package
We
name.
can put the Ashok IT as the group ID.
Okay. Ashok IT DSA. Okay. And what about the artifact ID?
We can say that arrays
Yes,
DS.
batch. In the morning, we can specify the time as well.
Okay, we can specify the batch code.
Right.
Let's have a new class. And let's give the class name as find min and min max. Guys, I'll suggest doesn't matter in which coding platform you're coding it up. You can make your own repository. You can make it clear with the fundamentals, like whether you're discussing the fundamentals for statement over there or you are let me change the font size. I'll go with 18. Okay. Guys, I hope everyone is able to view my screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? Let's take the same input. It would be better. 700 5364. Cool. Okay, I have placed the wrong brackets. Now we decided let's focus on the max first. We decided max equal to 0. We decided to iterate int I equal to 0, I less than ar dot length and I plus plus, right? This is the piece of code which you have already written and it's correct.
Yeah.
And we decided that we'll compare area of I with the max. If I find anything, see what you're doing, you're iterating into the array. If you find anything which is greater than the max, you're updating it. Correct? So if you want, let's try to print it. Sys out. Let's try to print the max value. And before updating and after update, so that you will have an clarity when the max value is updated. Before and after. Cool. Let's save, let's run. And I haven't changed the font size so far. So
We
can you
can
see
use
that?
space so that we can understand easily. So
Space. Okay.
yes.
Over here.
Yes.
Okay. So can you see the initial max was 0? When I find 7, can you see that 7 was greater than the max?
Wrong. It means false.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true, na? 7 is greater than the max.
True.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Yes.
max should be updated to 7.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, then you compare.
Anand,
G.
hello Anand. We will
Go
have
ahead.
a problem when the elements in an array are less than 0. Yes.
Correct. Definitely will have.
So we should not take that max as
Initialize
0.
as 0. Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Can I say that next element is 100? You will compare 100 with max. So will max will be updated again? Guys, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So max will be 100 now. Will max will be updated after that?
No. No.
Because no element is greater than the max, right?
Yes.
Similarly, if I wanted to find the min, what should I do?
Again, 0 only.
0 only. Correct. And can you tell me the condition? What to write?
A of I less than
Min.
A of
I is less than min.
less than minimum.
Then min equal to area of I.
Area of I.
Correct. So what I'll do, I'll also write before and the after over here.
But less than min means only one which is
only 0 will get printed.
only negative values we will get it. That's all.
Yeah, only 0 will be printed.
Yeah, only 0 will be.
So you realize the problem that it will never go inside the if condition.
Yes, correct.
This is not working.
Correct. So Jyoti has initially suggested it's better to initialize it with the first element. If I will do that, can I say that the problem will be solved?
You have to iterate from number 1 for loop.
Okay, even if I will iterate with 0, is it a problem?
It's not a problem, but you are adding additional one more iteration.
Okay, let's consider n is 1000. So 1000 plus 1, or let's say n is 1 lakh. 1 lakh plus 1. Don't you think that it will have a major impact on your performance?
It won't be. Basically, it is not. Basically, what we are trying to address is a better way of writing. So if it is 0 is already initialized, there is no need to go through that iteration.
Exactly.
It's more whatever the best we can optimize. That's what we are thinking.
Right. You can say that it's best way to code, but it won't optimize it in any mean.
Correct. It won't make that difference.
Correct. So instead of printing all that console, let me remove it up. And at the end of my loop, what I'll do, I'll try to write sys out.
I have one more suggestion also, not now. The other thing is, it is like, I know here freshers, experienced, all those people are there. Two things I can suggest, if at all you can do. One, if you can bring IntelliJ, what I understood, I spoke to many people, and I'm a working person. And so many people now, everybody is going IntelliJ. You may say that doesn't matter, but it will be add the value, because when you go to the industry, the comfortability level changes. The second thing is, as part of your teaching, if you can bring a step through debugging, that will help us, even not only today, if you write anything, even when we go into the job market jobs, that will, you are helping the people in both the aspects. Because we write system.out.println system, but when you put so many things, it confuses not add. But at the same time, if people get used to, you are teaching us, but we go and practice it. When we do that way, it helps us. So just wanted to pass that suggestion.
Yeah, got it. To cut you short, I'll tell you two things. First thing, the agenda of this course is not that you should be friendly with an ID. As of now, you already know what ID is. You would have used either IntelliJ, either Eclipse. So guys, if you wanted to unmute, just let me know. I'll raise hand, because let's say you have forgotten to mute yourself. We are getting the constant noise, right? So first thing, that's not the agenda, that whether you should be comfortable with Eclipse or the IntelliJ. At the end, I'll write down the code directly into the hacker rank. Okay. Second, you said that I should use the debugger in order to debug the code. You're right. In the Eclipse, I can do that. Understand that whenever you're sitting into the interviewer, he will ask you to write down the code in the notepad. And second condition, he will put that you can't even run the code. He will say there is a problem, fix it up. He will give you some test case to fix that particular piece of code. Are you getting the point? Jyoti, I hope it's clear to you.
Yes, I understand. That's fine. I don't want to drag more on this, which is fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so we'll be addressing these two concerns. Yes, Rakesh?
Yeah, I just want to say this thing only. Jyoti, in the real interview, they will give you Google Docs and you have to write everything step by step. Even over here, like we are using system.out.println, we have to write all these things by yourself, each and every individual alphabet. So it would be great, like if we can like adjust according to this thing, because in real time interview, this thing will happen.
Exactly. I don't know, but they don't want you to even use the ID. Okay, so just try to understand, you have to build your debugging skills by yourself. You don't have to depend on any ID. Can you avoid to write down the follow-up? I told you the alternative solution, you can sort the array. But when you will learn time and space complexity, you will realize that this is an optimized solution. I hope it's clear, Surya. So if you wanted to solve it in another way, you can simply sort the array, AR dot, or I can simply use arrays dot sort, right? Correct? I'll pass an array, it will be sorted, and then I can print the first and the last element. First element is array of zeros, last element is AR dot length -1. So when I'll save, I'll run, I'll get the same result. Are you going to learn complexity and all things as part of this course? Yes, Saurabh. Okay. Just give me a minute. So those who have missed it up, we're gonna learn all these topics. You can just go for the topics right now. So it's pattern printing, fundamentals. As of now, we're discussing fundamentals of array. Then move to the fundamentals of matrix, fundamentals of maths, pattern printing, and so on. So once we learn about the time and space complexity, once you're clear with the fundamentals, see, discussing about the time and space complexity will only make sense once you know some fundamental, right? Once you know at least 2 to 3 solution for the particular problem statements, then we'll talk about time and space complexity so that we should have an understanding which is an optimized solution or not. I hope it's clear. Anyone has any doubts? Guys, I'm just allowing you to unmute. And those who have attended the yesterday session, today's session, if you don't have any doubts, you can leave and we can connect at the same time at 7:30. Okay, so as of now, we'll proceed from 7:30 to 8:30. And from Monday on Friday, I'll confirm and we can proceed it further with that particular timing. Whichever is convenient to others, we can have the discussion.
Yeah, Anand, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Anand, suppose Anand, after completing this course, so you will be practicing a lot of questions over here. So
Correct.
the main thing is that when we are facing an interview questions, so probably there might be 1,000 different types of solutions we can apply to that particular question. So could you please give us some handwritten notes that if, let's say, the scenario is something, then this will be the best case scenario. If scenario is this thing, then this will be the best case scenario, or the solution is optimized thing.
Got it. Got it. So, Rakesh, once you learn this time and space complexity now, we will also boil down to how to come up with a solution. Before even writing in the code, how to validate whether that code is optimized or not.
Okay.
We'll be working on that particular thought process.
Yeah, like in this scenario, there is two solutions. Like you can use either for loop or we can use the array dot sort.
Correct.
If you use array dot sort in the background, first it will sort the array, then it will again compare and like it will take the elements. So it will be like little bit time
It's
consuming.
n log n. So when you will write on the time and space complexity, it will get automatically clear. So internally, array will use the sorting and sorting will take n log n. And this loop is going to take only n time. So this is optimized. So once you will learn time and space complexity, you will get more clarity on this.
Yeah, as I'm new to this thing, this n log n and anything time complexity. So how could we find this thing?
Yes, right. And that's you're gonna learn in time and space complexity.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. One more thing, guys. Yes, Narayana, you have some doubt?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, so if we follow the predefined methods, then it will be it will cause the performance, right? Then, so we need to go for optimized way. Like we need to go for loops to identify the best solution.
Yes, Narayana, it depends on situation to situation. Sometimes predefined functions are very, very optimized.
Okay.
For example, in order to find the
one question right here, n log n versus n. I don't know that underlying data is. Which is better? N is better and n log n better.
Every time the value which is less, it's better. So n is better.
Oh, okay. So n log n is always more than the n.
Correct. So we'll have the discussion around that. What is n log n? Okay.
But interviewer are asking without sorting, using sorting. I have faced this problem.
So Vamsi, this is a solution without sorting, right?
Same here, sir. I also say the same. They are asking don't use the predefined methods.
Correct, man. I'm glad that the first problem statement I'm taking and this has been asked in the interviews. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, in interviews, they ask us, so what is the best optimized way? Could you please write the code? So if you go for array, then it will be array start sort. It will not be good.
Right.
So, yeah.
Narayana, see, the point is there are multiple solutions, right? And I know what is an optimized solution. So sometimes I'll try to play around, right? I'll give him the solution, then I will say that optimize it up. I will not predict that I already know the optimized solution. Are you getting the point? I'll try to think and I'll try to build in front of him. I'll tell him my thought process, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing. Are you getting the point? Let's say I told you the brute force solution. Just try to understand. I've explained you one solution which is not optimized. When I will tell you the optimized solution, I'll make sure that you're going through the journey from non-optimized to the optimized code. So in a nutshell, you can tell the thought process to the interviewer, and you can also, it will make the good impact, right? That you haven't mucked up the code, you understand it.
Yep.
I think I made my point.
Yeah, and one more thing is that suppose like as we know that we will be given simple notepad or Google Docs to code this thing. So in this scenario, like I'm looping through the loop and I will make the interviewer understand that yeah, I'm doing this particular thing. So do I have to run the code over there and show the output to him, or the logic that I'm using that's sufficient to impress him?
Logic is more than sufficient because you're getting the point. You cannot run the code during that moment.
Yeah.
So logic would be more than enough. Logic, and that means you have to code it up. First, you have to explain him the logic, then you have to code it up.
So code it up means like the code should be written in a such a way that it should be in a runnable state, or I can just loosely code it like
loosely code in the sense, let's say if you're writing the Google Doc, it will automatically make this P capital.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't have to worry about this small mistake, but at the end you have to make sure that if you copy paste that particular piece of code, it should be in an executable state.
Okay.
They want it with the proper syntax, proper brackets and everything.
Okay, so they are expecting syntax also. Like, let's say over here, public static void main, if I'm writing just a method and then doing this, so if you put that thing, it won't execute because there is no main method in the class. So you want to say that I have to write each and every thing so that he will just copy paste that thing and it will just in runnable state.
Right. So the point is, if you're making this small thing, instead of writing public static void main, if you're reading PSVM, so you can tell to the interviewer, in order to save the time, you're just writing PSVM and move it forward. But when you're calling let's say you're using a map library and you're using its functions. So let's say there is a map. So map equal to.
Yeah, here it will import everything automatically.
Correct. So what you can do, you can write the imports and everything. I'm not saying that you should worry about the import. Okay. Let's say it's an hash map. Cool. Let's remove all that stuff. Map dot, and let's say there is a method contains key. So during the interview, you cannot just write map dot contains and move it forward. So you have to make sure that you're using the exact method's name. If you're not able to remember, you can let him know that as of now I'm not able to recall this, but this method has to do this particular task. So he can understand that.
Okay.
See, the idea is more to communicate with the interviewer.
Okay.
Yeah, and prepare for the strict one. So if he's lenient, our job will be done, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Anything else, guys? Someone has sent me the very complex piece of code. I have 2 tasks, minimum number of glass required for any test of water and find pH. See, of course, we're gonna learn all that stuff, but in the later stage, right? And we won't be discussing an exact problem statement. But around it, you will learn the concept. Because concept is important. And guys, I'll tell you, see, if you will sit for the top product-based companies, there are chances that you can get the new problem statements. But even the companies like Amazon, they repeat the same problem statement which they have asked multiple times. So they are literally fixed set of problem statements. If you'll practice them very well, 80 to 90% of time, you won't find yourself in the trouble state.
Yeah, Anand, I was going to ask this question only. So how frequent do they frame a new question? Like, as you say, we have hacker rank, lead code. So let's say I have solved, let's say, 200 questions from each platform. So what is the percentage that I will get a similar question from that like structure? Or
80 to 90%.
Okay. So is it sufficient? Like if I can clear the 80 to 90% coding and I can impress the interview, so it's fine?
It depends on the market demand. It depends how the candidates are performing.
Okay.
Right. It will at the end boils down to that.
Okay. And solely they rely on data structure. Like suppose we are using Java over here. So we have Java 8 new features for streams and all these other things. Or Java 17 is there. We have a lot more new features. So solely they will be testing us on data structure, or they will also ask that, tell me the new features that we have. How can we integrate that in?
They won't do that. They will focus more on the DSA. Once the DSA rounds are done, they will have a discussion with respect to your project, what you have done. So they want the thought process. They want to understand what problem you have solved in order to solve that problem statement, what libraries you have used. So in that manner, discussion will take it forward.
So does that thing include system design also?
In the final round, yes.
Okay, so load balancing, system design, this will be, I can expect questions from that area also.
Right. That's why for the last batch, I have taken the system design as well. Like system design as a separate course. So I don't think so that it will be feasible for me to launch it right now. You should, if you're an experienced person, you should definitely learn system design. It's a must-have skills.
Okay.
Anand, I had given interview in Morgan Stanley. I was using Stream for the logic building. They strictly said that don't use Stream, just use only array.
Correct, man. They just wanted to see how good you are with that logic. That means from the scratch, how can you come up with a solution? Thanks, man, for sharing that up. I hope guys who have focused much on the Java 8 features and all that stuff realize that for the logical building, all that stuff are not required.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing over here is that even I face the same thing. So they were taking like from the database, they were taking 1 lakh records. So they asked me that we have for loop, we have for each loop, and we have streams. Which one would you use in this one? So I told him streams because it's a new thing over in the market. So literally, he asked me to code the 3 different kind of loops, and over there, like system, like time in millisecond, and in the beginning and the end, I did for all these things. And literally, this simple for loop was
it's more optimized.
It's more optimized. It took very less amount of time to execute.
Right. See,
Anand, do companies conduct any examination in the hacker rank for recruiting?
Of course, man. Amazon does. Your first round will be in the hacker rank. Hacker rank and the Hacker Earth, they are the most used platform by the companies.
Anand, do I have to code in front of them over there, or they will give me a thing that okay, you just give
in
us
the
the
hacker
answer
rank?
Yeah.
So you will just get the test link. You have to finish it off at your comfortable time, and within the let's say if they're sending the test link now, they will give you 1 week of time to finish it off.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. And guys, okay, so we will have the further discussion on that. Not to worry right now. Anything else, guys? You want to have the discussion?
You didn't tell about the fee.
Oh shit! Let me make a call to him.
Sir, I have asked to the management. They said 8,000 is fees for the course.
Okay, 8,000. Let me write it down. Okay.
This is without recording. With recording, it's 10K, I think. Yes.
Okay, got it. Cool, folks. So you got the fee detail as well.
Yeah. And they are providing us notes, right? Like the day-by-day notes.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you out.
Will you be providing us notes, like day-by-day notes? Like in this scenario, as you said that we will be using this logic, not that logic. So it will be helpful, like if you can write that thing in a notepad that previously the way you were doing, and you can share us that particular thing.
This particular thing you want to share it with you?
Yeah, not just actually.
So actually, right, Anand, in this case, right, because I'm not sure, for example, if you go with this speed, whether we can complete 3 to 4 months, but at least offline, let's say you are covering this example, and if you have a notes and you already discussed 3 approaches, what we are saying that is one approach, the first one what we have chosen, it will not work because you will not get reliable. And there is a second approach where we took the max and minimum, and with this one it takes the n log n times, And the third option is arrays.sort, which is the API from the correction. But the thing is that is the the for loop one is n and the other one is n log n. So if your nodes can cover saying that in the case of this one, n is better. So that way, if your nodes can come and in parallel to the what you are teaching, which will help us, and also it helps the meeting the timelines.
Right. I totally get your point. So what we have done so far, let's say there is a particular problem statements. I'm not talking about the basics ones. These are very, very basic problem statement. Whenever you will try to go to the advanced topic, anything like if you're learning.
Hello. Yeah, Anand, actually, what will be the duration of this course?
We'll try to wind it up within 3 months. But you know that there would be some public holidays and all that stuff, and sometimes it will take longer time to explain. Depends on the catching speed of the batch. So we assume that within 3 to 4 months we'll wind it up.
Okay. And
sir,
time will be same morning 7 to 8, 7:30 to 8:30.
As of now, we'll go for 7:30 to 8:30. And then we'll increase the duration to half an hour more. So either we'll start from 7 to 8:30 or 7:30 to 9. Daily we'll have the class from Monday to Friday.
Okay, so basically we are working people, so so that we are accordingly will be planning. So as per your timing, we'll try to manage our office also. So please don't make change because accordingly we have managed already.
Okay, got it.
Sir, this recording is valid how much time?
Man, again, I don't have that information.
You said 3 months after the completion. 3 months is the recording.
3 months after the completion. Okay. See, guys, recording is valid for the 3 months, but I'll provide you the doubt support for an year. So if you have any doubts, you can definitely ask it to me within a year. Okay. And after that also, like it will be hard to manage, but let's say if your 1 or 2 queries are there, we'll be love to answer that.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Okay, guys, shall I end the meet now?
Sir, I want to ask one question.
Yes, go ahead, Yogesh.
Are all people are experienced here, and am I the only fresher who's running this course?
No, man. As of I know that there are school students as well.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. Even if we are experienced, like we came here to learn from zero only. We are all freshers in DSA.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. DSA. Yeah, we are fresher.
Yeah, because we don't use this brute force algorithm in our day-to-day activities.
Yes. I am also a fresher to DSA. Means I have the basic knowledge, but I just thought that it would be difficult for me because.
Yogesh, it would be pleasure to be in a group with these folks.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Because generally, when you're fresher, we are surrounded with the same-minded people, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Miss, I just grabbed their by listening to the communication. So I got to learn a lot of things.
Got it. Okay. Anything else, guys? Anyone? Okay. I'll end the meet now. Thank you everyone for joining.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
thank you.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.